Welcome to Tara Stiles Living, inspiration for a healthy life. Hello, welcome to week 4 of your 4-week weight loss routine. So hopefully by now you are still diligently doing your week 1 sweaty and tone, week 2 detox, week 3 abs, and week 4 is now hips. So we're going to really get into those hips. Breathe, release any tension that you guys have got left or is building up over this time. So let me know how it goes and I will talk to you guys soon. Gently come back to sit on your heels. Go ahead and bring your hands right under your shoulders and press back into your downward dog, reaching your hips up and back, breathing into your heels. Take a couple long deep breaths here. And if it feels good to press into your right hand and your left heel for a couple breaths and your left hand and your right heel for a couple breaths, go ahead and try that. And go ahead and reach your right leg all the way up to the ceiling, opening your hips here. If you want to lower your left forearm down to the ground, you can try that, but you don't have to. Just opening the hips there, whatever feels good in your range of motion. And then just gently go ahead and reach your foot right between your hands. You can pick it up if it doesn't quite make it there, no worries. And go ahead and lower your back knee down to the ground. Breathe here in trips for a couple of long, deep breaths. Nice and carefully there. And you're just going to heel toe your foot over toward your left hand and ease your knee down to your right hand for your pigeon pose here. Try to get your shin as parallel as you can to the front of your mat. If your hips don't reach the ground, that's totally fine. You can grab a block or a blanket or a pillow, something just so you can rest your hips onto a nice solid surface there. And then gently start to walk yourself over your shin, really relaxing here. Nice and easy, long deep breaths. And gently start to make your way out of that. Go ahead and bring your left hand to your bent knee. Start to twist yourself around to the side. You can either bring your right fingertips to the floor or to your leg. If you want to bend the back knee up, grabbing your ankle, that's just something else to do. But remember, there is no pose. These are all options. Go to your own edge. Go with what works for your body right now. It's going to be different every day, probably. And then gently go ahead and bring that knee and go ahead and grab a hold of the top of your foot if that feels okay. You can do that, or you can do any kind of back bend variation that you like to do or that you know. But it's definitely good just to hug your foot right in toward your hip there, nice and carefully. If you want to go into a full pigeon, that's just another option, something to know that is available possibly one day or maybe today. And gently go ahead and come all the way back from there. And you're just going to swing your back foot around. Go ahead and bring your ankle on top of your bent knee, and then so your knee will line up with your bottom ankle. And a trick with this one is you can grab hold of your upper thigh and roll it inward toward you. That helps the hips relax. And you can stay up with this one, shoulders on top of your hips, if that's enough tension, if that feels good. Or you can gently start to walk it forward and then also to the side, sneaking your elbow right into the sole of your foot there. And gently reaching the leg all the way back around to your pigeon pose, and then lift the foot all the way up and back, stretch it out to your downward dog split if that feels good, and then gently come back to your downward dog. Make sure to check in with your breathing, make sure you have nice long deep breaths going. We're going to try the other side, so go ahead and breathe the left leg all the way up, open the hips. Again, if you want to lower the right forearm down, that's something else to do. None of this is absolutely required. Again, just all examples, options here, and then just go ahead and place your foot right between your hands, easing your hips down. You can lower your back knee down to the ground. Breathe your shoulders on top of your hips, expand your chest forward, nice long deep breaths here. And then you're going to just heel toe your foot over toward your right hand this time, ease your knee down toward your left hand. And again, if you want to put a block or a pillow or a blanket, something under those hips to sink them down into the ground, you can try that. And if that feels good, just gently start to walk your hands forward over that shin, using your exhales to release tension here. Try to get nice and comfortable, a position in your body where you have a little bit of tension but not too much, so you can let your body alone and use your breath to take over and do all of the work for you. If your body's fighting you, it's harder to release tension. You have to really be able to use your mind to go with the breath and release tension there. And gently bring it all the way back up, bringing your right hand to your knee, twisting around. Again, if you want to bring that back foot up, that's something to do. Not necessary, just an option. Twisting around is great here. Grabbing the floor or your leg and gently bring it back to the middle and either stay here, or if you want to bring your foot up, guiding it toward your hip, that's a great front of the leg stretch. Or if you feel like going into a back bend, if you have a nice open range there today, you can try that, either sliding your foot into your elbow, that's one stage, or grabbing the top of your foot, going into a full pigeon is another stage. Nice, easy breathing here. And again, it's okay to fall out of it. I fall all the time too. Everybody falls. Just stay with your breath. And again, if you fall out of something, it's good to collect yourself, not rush back into something. Take your time, come back in. Again, it's all one continuous pose. There's nowhere to go that's any special. And go ahead and bring around that foot. Go ahead and bring your foot right on top of your knee. Let your knee open up on top of your bottom foot. Again, you can roll that thigh in toward you. And if you have the range, you can start to walk yourself forward. Try not to round so much in the back here. You want to lengthen out through your lower back. You'll get a lot more out of this release here than if you hunch forward. And if you're walked forward, if you want to slip yourself over toward that top foot, you can kind of guide that elbow in there. Give yourself a tug back. And then gently work the leg all the way back around and picking yourself up back to your downward dog. Nice, easy breathing here. Evening everything out. Check in with your breathing. And go ahead and lower your knees down, sitting back on your heels. Take a couple long, deep breaths. You can stay here for a couple minutes if you'd like. Go into a nice, easy meditation, staying with your breath. And after you've done that, gently come out of that one, and you're done.